We know a lot about the mill stores. We know how they operate them. We know what the issues are. We know where the failures are. We know generally what the rules are and what licenses they have to abide by and everything. And so every time we do a Mills Fleet Farm, we look for ways to make sure that we make their life operating these stores easier. We need to be able to get ourselves in our clients' heads and learn from them so that we do a better job. And that's what we try and do with Mills and every other client we have.
Our clients have objectives and expectations where the buildings that we design are durable, that they are energy efficient, and it's buildings that they not only operate but that they own for a long time. The other thing that we need to consider is the sites themselves, and so a very critical part of a future site for a Mills Fleet Farm store is access. And so we need to take into consideration the existing infrastructure with traffic counts, how we want to provide access to the site to make it accommodating for not only deliveries, but then also for the customers themselves.
We're constantly evolving the design of the stores going forward. As recently as last April, we completed a Mankato store. We're in mid-construction of our Hermantown store and already incorporating changes in that design based on the input of the folks down in Mankato and their experience with that past store. So every store, even when they're just months apart, from opening to starting a new one, we're incorporating those changes going forward so that it works better for them. We work with a standard retail store of a certain size, but there are no standard sites.
The buildings are basically the same with maybe one or two minor little subtle changes. But as Mike said, the sites are so different that there's a real challenge when you come to site adapting a given building on a piece of property. The regulations of the cities are all different, and we have to deal with all of those.
One of the biggest issues we face as civil engineers on the sites going forward, that's common to just about every site, is a changing regulatory environment. Between wetlands and city ordinances and state ordinances and working in multiple states where all these things are different, determining those requirements and meeting them with the design is probably their biggest challenge.
We learn something on every store which we incorporate into the next store to make that store either more efficiently built or better for the client. This long-term relationship has really worked well for WSN and the client to provide a really nice facility for them, and each one gets a little bit better than the one before it. For the design of the Fleet Farm stores, we work with the architects, the mechanical, electrical engineers, environmental people up front.
The mechanical systems in the Fleet Farm stores have evolved quite a bit over the years. Building today is much more energy efficient than even 5 years ago. We're constantly analyzing new technologies and looking to implement different energy savings methods. Some of the recent ones we've done include demand control ventilation, where we vary the outside air coming into a building based on its occupancy, and also the use of solitube skylights. Throughout the course of the construction, any changes that happen, we kind of keep a log of those and make sure that any of those changes are incorporated into the new design of this next store. And at the completion of each store, we commission all of the systems we design. And throughout the course of doing that, making sure everything works right, we learn a lot and we figure out a better way to do things.
The biggest thing from my perspective is to listen, to hear what they want, find out what they need, ask questions, make sure that they are thinking of everything, think of things that they may not be thinking of because it's natural and normal, they just do them every day.
We need to be there to listen to what they need, and they know their business, they know what's going to work best for them. What we can do then is take their requests, take their questions, we can analyze that information, We do research, we find out maybe what a nice solution would be for them.
We have worked for Mills Properties, Mills Fleet Farm for 35 years. And over that time and today, we use every discipline that this company offers on a Mills Fleet Farm job. And I always say that we need to do the job right so that when the owner moves in, he's happy. And then we'll really know when we've done our job when he's just as happy 5 years later. That's the important thing to me.